we are going to be talking about the NG unit today. These are often called units when they are combined with the vowel that comes right before it. NG is how we spell a sound that we don't have in our alphabet. So the sound is made with the back of your tongue pressing up against the back of your throat and just having a very nasal sound come out. So it's like making an N sound, but the back of your tongue is blocking off the air, so the sound has to come through your nose. Right? That's an NG sound. I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, we don't have a letter in our alphabet that says it, that says I mean, so when you make that N sound, the tip of your tongue goes to the top of your mouth. So there's still all of that room for air to flow behind it. But for the NG sound, the back of your tongue goes to the back of your throat, blocks off the air, so the air has to come through your nose. I don't know if you can hear the difference, but you probably can when you do it on your own. You'll be able to hear it in these words. First, let me show you some of the vowels that use this NG as a unit. So ing is a common one. Ing, as in sing. You can sing. If you just hold on that last sound, you can feel that shape, that mouth shape that's supposed to happen to make that NG sound. Sing. That's the sound that you should be hearing for the NG. ONG says ong, as in song. UNG says ung, as in sung. And ANG says ing, as in sang. So in order of the vowels, we have ang, ing, ong, ung. We don't have an E because the ing makes the E sound. Ing. So it's ang, ing, ong, ung. That's what we're going to be working with today. Any questions about that? It does sound like an ENG, Blair. Absolutely. If you hear ing, you're going to spell it ing. All right, let me share. Nope, we are sharing my screen, but I am going to pull up your correct lesson for today. Okay, so here we have a bunch of practice words practicing our new sound. So I'm going to mark this first one. So these are called units. I haven't really talked about units much in this class. But this is a good example of a unit. So it's more than one letter that must be recognized for reading, because it makes an unusual sound. That's what a unit is. So an ing, ang, ong, ung, don't say what you would expect. Maybe ong and ung, but ang and ing, the unit must be recognized for reading by your subconscious eventually, but for now your conscious brain, to alert you that that unit of letters, that group of letters, says something unexpected. That's what a unit is. So let's practice. All right, so this A and G, I'm just going to underline it to show our brain that that says something different. It kind of sounds like a long A right here. So we have N, and I'm going to put one dot under here so that it's just easier than separating it. So N and then ing. Together we have nang, nang. So try yours over here. Just underline your unit to teach your brain to recognize that as a cluster of letters that makes it a different sound that you might expect. Go ahead. So this A-N-G says ang. So our sounds are p, and then ang. Together, praying, praying. You're noticing probably, hopefully, that back of your tongue is blocking off that sound at the very end. It's an unusual sound for English. I guess it's because we don't have a letter for it. It's frequent though, it happens in a lot of words. All right, let's figure out number 2. So this A is going to make it short sound and say ah. How did I know that? Because of the tap 2 rule, there are 2 consonants after it. Here is my unit, ing, that says ing. So my sounds, with ing getting just 1 dot, we have b, a, p, ing. Brapping, brapping. It's like rapping but with a B, brapping. So what would yours say over here? So this ing says ing. Our U is going to make it short sound because of those 2 consonants that are after it. Our sounds are s, l, p, ing, slupping, slupping. Okay, now I wanted to just do something for fun here. If this word over here only had 1 P in it, what would it say? Braping, braping. Now this A has to say its long sound because there's not 2 consonants after it. What about number 2? What would it say with only 1 P? If that U did not have 2 consonants after it, it would be forced to make its long sound and say oo. So that would say slooping, slooping. Okay. Number 3. So here we have a short E because of the tap 2 rule. Those 2 P's after it make it short. Here we have an ER that could be considered a unit. We're going to consider it a grapheme though. Grapheme is a better descriptor of an ER. And this unit is described as a unit because there's more than 1 sound in it. This is just 1 sound. So our sound, so this says and this says ong. This O says what you would expect. This NG is the new part. So we have p, ong, eperong, eperong. 3 syllables. How can I tell just looking that this is 3 syllables long? It's because there are 3 vowels that don't touch. That is how you can tell how many syllables a word has. If there are 3 vowels that don't touch, it's a 3-syllable word. All right, number 3 over here, you have a 2-syllable word. I can tell because there are 2 vowels that don't touch. So go ahead and try reading yours. There's a digraph. Don't forget that T in the middle. Okay, so this O is going to say ah because of the tap 2 rule. This ONG says ong. So we have ah, sh, t, ong, ashtong, ashtong. Now, would you please put how many out of 3 of those first 3 over here that you got without me? And put that in the Q&A for me, please. Oh, Beverly, you wanted me to repeat number 1 over here. Praying, praying. It's like ring, like the phone rang, but with a P at the beginning. Praying. All right, thank you for your feedback. We're getting 2s and 3s mostly. I got them only because you taught us this new rule today. On my own, I would have not gotten any one of them. Aren't you glad you came today? Now you know what this NG is all about, and it is no longer a mystery, and you will no longer miss any of those words because you made the time to come to class today. That makes me happy. That makes me so happy. Okay, number 4. So this U is going to say its long sound. Now, stop sharing for just a second. Just as a review for you, if you weren't here in U month, U has 2 long sounds. It can say its whole name, U, or just that last part, oo. So the long sound for U can say U or oo, 2 different mouth shapes, U or oo, and it will come out naturally based on the shape of your mouth when it made the sound before it. So the word that we're about to read has an L before a long U. When you're making an L, the shape of your mouth is forward, oh. So it's not going to say pull you. That's not natural. It doesn't come out naturally. It's going to come out naturally by saying plu. So you usually don't have to think too hard about which long sound the U is going to make. It's going to come out naturally based on the shape of your mouth when it made the letter sound before it. So this long U is going to say oo because that's the shape that my mouth was in when it made the L sound right here. This U and G is ung. So we have p, ul, oo, ung. Plumung, plumung. Try yours, number 4. So this first U is going to say oo because of the tap 2 rule. There's another vowel 1 or 2 doors down. This U and G says ung. So we have ul, oo, t, ung, lutung, lutung. T-U and G right here sounds like the tongue that's in your mouth. Tongue, tongue. Okay, number 5. We have some time here, and I feel like you're getting it from the feedback that I just got. So I'd like for you to try this number 5 over here on your own without me. Go ahead. So we have a hard C, which is its typical sound. C usually says k if that next letter is not an E, I, or Y. This I is going to say I because of the tap 2 rule. There is a vowel in the next 1 or 2 spots. A and G says ang, ang. This A makes this long A sound. So we have k, I, t, ang. Cry tang, cry tang. Does anybody remember the drink tang? I wonder if that's still around. That was around when I was a child, and yeah, I probably cried when I was forced to drink tang. It wasn't the best orange drink substitute. Does anybody remember tang, the drink tang? Yeah? No? I wonder if it's still around. You're not missing anything if you haven't. Number 5. Go ahead and try your number 5 over here on your own. All right, so this E is going to make its long sound E because one of the next 2 letters is another vowel. A and G says ang. So we have O, E, T, ang. Leetang, leetang. Is still around. You know what? I bet I would enjoy it now. I bet it was just an acquired taste. I was probably just too young to appreciate it. Maybe I'll go look for some tang. I bet it gets better as I get older, and who knows, maybe. All right, number 6. Go ahead and try number 6 right here without me. Yeah. So this ing right here is going to say ing, right? So the sounds are g, l, ing, gling, gling. You're going to notice these units, ang, ung, ong, and ing everywhere now. Now that you've learned about it, it's in your conscious, and your subconscious is going to be tapping you on the shoulder and saying, hey, there it is again. Look, it's in that word, and it's in that word, and it's in that word. And like Blair, you've been reading your whole life, and you just today realized that ONG, UNG, ANG, and ING have that unique NG sound at the end of it. So now you're going to know that you know that. Now your subconscious is going to tap your conscious on the shoulder and say, look what you now know. It's everywhere in words. Yeah. All right, number 6 over here. Go for it. There's that ing. Ing is very common. So we have sp-ing, sping. It's like sing, but with a p after the s. Sping, sping. Out of those last 3, how many did you get on your own without me, please? Number 4 was extremely hard. Plumung. I'm going to do some extensive studying. Nice. In ing, should the A long? Yeah, no, you're hearing it right. In ing, the A sounds like a long A sound. It's just very nasally. So a long A sound can have a very nasal sound to it. Ing, ing. But yeah, no, you can consider that a long A sound for sure. Let's hop down here for the last few minutes and try some extra practice. Are there any of these that you would like me to do with you before you go and study them on your own? You're welcome. Joseph says, I will need to review this lesson. Yeah, it's good that they're recorded. You can just revisit it. It'll come so much easier the second time you listen to it. Trust me, the first time your brain is just absorbing it, like, what did she say? How does that sound? Oh my goodness, this is everywhere. It's just kind of brand new information. And then when you listen to it the second time, there's going to be all of these already seeds planted in your brain, and they're just going to be allowed to sprout and grow into these beautiful trees of knowledge. How is that for a metaphor? Okay, I'm getting some requests for number 8. So go ahead and try number 8. Okay, so this E is going to say eh. UNG says ung. So we have f, l, eh, sh, t, ung. Flesh tongue. Flesh tongue. Sounds like it should be a real word. I'd like to try number 2, just because the one that most people missed up here is similar to this number 2. So I want you to try to read this one on your own. So this I will say I. ING says ing. K, I, t, ing. Criting. Criting. Did you get criting? Put a Y or a A for almost in the Q&A for me, please. For criting. How did you do on that? Look at you. Wow. Hey, that makes me happy to see all those Y's. A lot of information, huh, for today? Isn't that fun, though? Isn't that fun? Isn't just learning the best? Isn't learning the funnest hobby there is? I tell you, I am an avid learner. I don't retain a minuscule portion, but I like putting it in there. I like putting information in my brain, but for me, I like to listen to a lot of books, nonfiction books that teach me things, but honestly, I have to listen to them 3 and 4 times to even begin to retain the information. But that's the fun part. That's the fun part of life. So welcome to your new knowledge. Enjoy it, my friends. Have a great weekend. See you Monday. Bye, everybody.